All right. I know I said I'd be posting on this channel more often a while ago. It kind of was a false promise. Basically, been really busy. Okay, obviously we got Be Weird in that channel. Also one of my channels. This isn't really a channel yet. Hopefully trying to make this a channel. But this is gonna be more focused on kind of like my physical life, my other thing that I really like to do, which is like going to the gym and stuff like that, and things like my diet, my health, gym, stuff like that. Again, this is very loose. I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna stick. It's really hard to try to do everything for Be Weird, between the filming, the editing, the orders, the fulfillment, the freaking web store, the building and all that stuff. It's just a lot. So I do want to do this video though. I've been wanting to do it for a while, and this is the Q&A that I asked you guys on Instagram a few months ago to ask me all the questions you guys might have me about my weight loss journey, anything about my current physical journey, my goals, some issues, some struggles, you know, all the good stuff. So right now I'm gonna go to the questions because it was a few months ago, and I feel really bad about waiting this long, but we'll just run through them. You know what I mean? So first question is, how do I find the motivation? Because I always want to start, but I never stick with a routine. Can't use the advice until I get my leg cast off though. Well, hopefully your leg is better by this point, so this advice will be good to you right now. This was asked by Jaden MX35. Okay, so Jaden, one thing I will say to you is you have to have something that motivates you to stick with it. Okay, and that was like my biggest struggle at first. Was I was fat. I was 300 some odd pounds. I was a big boy, but I didn't have a problem with being fat. Like, I wasn't embarrassed of being fat. I embraced it. I didn't care. Again, you have to want to do something, okay? And there was something in my life that triggered me to want to do this. Now, I've never told really anybody this, but I had somebody at one point in time in my life call me something and say something to me that really changed the way I thought. And not really necessarily, it didn't really hurt my feelings, more so it motivated me. Now, what they said was they wanted to gut me like the fat pig that I am. I'm going to bleep out the F word, but I'll keep the other stuff in there, obviously. And I know that sounds gnarly, and it is gnarly. Should never have been said to any human being on the planet Earth. But at that moment in time, there was a spark that lit up underneath my ass. And what I said to myself is, I never want to have someone ever talk to me like that again, or say something like that to me again. So it's time to make a change. And maybe, and basically what it was, is I wanted to prove to that one person that I could be the better and the best version of myself. And that was something that was the initial fire under my ass. But then once I started seeing improvement, and it was just started out just working out every couple days. I was going to Monmouth at the time. Monmouth had a fantastic gym. Started out going once a week. Then I started going twice a week, then 3 times a week. And then I had one of my buddies that I was roommates with who worked out, and his name was Dom Gamba, and he was showing me some workout routines. Then I moved in with Scotty and Maddie's cousins, and Dylan and Bobby. Bobby used to lift weights a ton when he was a kid. Me and Dylan just got into lifting weights at that time. I had tried to lose weight in the past with Maddie by doing running, and I wasn't that into it. But then when that person said that line to me, I was like, dude, I'm going to prove to that person that I'm going to do it. I'll probably be honest with you. I think if that person could go back and take back what they said, they would. Because I bet you they look at me now, they're like, shit, or, you know what? All I got to say to that person is, thank you for what you said to me, because that line changed my life probably forever. So I'm very thankful to that person for what they said. So that being said, you just got to find something that motivates you. Find something, a goal or something that makes you want to do it. Next question, big inspiration on the weight loss. Thank you. I lost 30 pounds this year. But did you hit any plateaus? What did you find as the best thing to get over them? Been stuck for a couple weeks now. First of all, 30 pounds, that's awesome. Okay, that's fantastic. It's crazy. But plateaus, I never had any plateaus in weight loss, because I was 300 pounds, and at one point I got all the way down to 171 was the lowest record weight that I recorded, and that was extremely unhealthy. I think it caused some negative side effects with health that I'm currently having right now. I lost too much weight way too quick. I experienced things like low libido, pretty much erectile dysfunction, all types of crazy stuff that you would not normally see someone. But basically I think I just plummeted everything so fast, so quick, dieted so hard that my body just didn't know what to hormonally do anymore. So a lot of it just shut down. Now, I don't know if that's for sure the reason it shut down or not, but I'll get into that in a later question that I saw that somebody already asked. But that being said, I think I hit a plateau then because I got to 171 and then I was like, dude, I'm way too skinny. I need to fix this. And then it was so hard to gain weight after that. I just had to keep trying. And actually this past year I set out to try to get to 220 and I actually got to 225 and I was feeling like pretty lean and muscular and all that stuff. I've had some stuff in the past couple weeks that have happened that I've had to like kind of just ease back on the gym, and I've been eating a little bit less because of it. Just haven't had quite the appetite, and that I noticed like a dramatic change kind of quick. Went from like 225 to like 212, 215. So I think I probably cruise around the 210 mark right now, like without eating a ton of like without eating in a serious caloric surplus and working out like hard 7 days a week. I'm doing 6 days a week now, which is like not that big of a deal, but I did 7 days a week for probably like three or 4 years, and I'll be honest with you, I think I finally realized that you do need rest. Like I probably hindered myself more than I did good for myself by working at that, because I was fat, so I didn't want to like not work out because I was like, I don't want to get fat again, but that's not how it works, and I now realize that. And it's kind of like when you get older and you understand more of like how it works, you realize, okay, you need to take a rest, otherwise you're just gonna absolutely shit on your body. So that's like the only plateau that I hit. Change something up. Change something that you're doing, whether maybe it's like you're only going to the gym 2 times a week, maybe go 3 times a week, 4 times a week. And then if you're dieting really hard, you know what I mean? Like if you're dieting super hard and you're in a caloric deficit, don't go too extreme with that. I mean, again, I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not gonna say that, but from personal experience, if you diet too hard, stuff can get a little weird. So I don't know. I just say change something you're doing and see what happens. Just like keep tinkering with what you're doing. And that question was asked by Dylan Farrell, by the way. All right, next question. I can't get into the meal prep. I do it for a few weeks, then I completely bail out. What kept you in it? All right, so here's the thing. 2 things. It's hard to say what kept me in meal prep. 1, I don't mind meal prepping. It's pretty simple. I don't mind eating the same food every single day. My friends make fun of me for it because they're like, you know, it's kind of like a dog where you give a dog the same bowl of food in the morning, the same bowl of food at night. And I'm very similar to that way because I could eat chicken and rice with barbecue sauce on it every single meal, every single day. And I actually prefer that. And the 2 reasons for that is I know it's going to my body. I know I react okay with it. I know I like it. And I know it yields the results that I want. If I'm trying to gain weight, I increase the chicken and I increase the rice and I increase the fats. If I'm trying to lose weight, which I haven't been done in a while, you know, I would just cut back on that stuff, but I don't mind eating that. I mean, I eat out, don't get me wrong, but then the money thing is, I like to save money. I have a lot of goals and aspirations in life that require money, and I have a lot of crazy ideas that also require money. That being said, I'm trying to save as much money as I possibly can to continue to invest in those ideas. And so one of my main things is eating out every single night. Like you'll see a lot of younger kids these days, they'll go to Chipotle, they'll go to Buffalo Wild Wings. That shit adds up. You gotta like go places where you gotta tip, and I'm not saying like don't ever go out. Like you gotta enjoy yourself, and everyone's different. Some people are foodies, they like food. I'm not a foodie at all, so why would I go somewhere that's nice? I mean, when I got a girlfriend, okay, so like before I had a girlfriend, I never went out ever. Like I would just eat on my own. I'd go with friends places, but not eat. But now it's like a compromising thing. It's like that's what I like, you know. She's kind of a foodie, I'm not really, so I'll go place with her. Sometimes I don't always eat, and sometimes I do eat, but it's nice to go out and share time with somebody else, and food is like one of the main things that people do that with. So don't be so strict, but the meal prep thing, like the main things for me was it's like healthy, and you know it's healthy, and 2, it saves a shit ton of money. So it's like you can get a bag of rice for $20 that'll last you 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, depending on how much rice you eat, and you can get a freaking 8 pounds of chicken for like $24 or something like that. So, I mean, reality, you got to think about it. You go to Chipotle one time, you're half of that amount of money that you just spent. You know what I mean? So it just the money thing was one of the main factors for me. That question was asked by Tristan Campioli, by the way. James Spring. I don't know why that was so hard for me to read because it's got 2 S's. How do I get myself to go to the gym, bro? I'm seriously so lazy, but I want to be more fit. I mean, that's the thing. You know what I mean? It's hard to say an answer for that because you have to want to go to the gym. If you don't want to go to the gym, you're going to go there, you're miserable. You said you want to be more fit, so the step to be more fit would be going to the gym. But if maybe like you got to work into it and try to find it, start doing push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups at your house or something like that, go for a run around the neighborhood. I mean, I absolutely hate cardio more than anybody, but I ride my BMX bike, so that's kind of like my cardio. But I don't know. You gotta want it. If you don't want it, you're not gonna go. And you go, you're gonna be miserable. You're only last like a couple weeks. Like you gotta find something that makes you want to go. Like set a goal that you want to do. Like either if you're skinny and you wanna get to X amount of pounds and have X amount of muscle mass on yourself. You want to increase muscle mass, then set that goal and do it, and figure out how you're going to do it. And going to the gym is one of the ways you're going to do it. If you want to lose weight, you know what I mean? You're feeling like a little hefty at the time. You got a little, quarantine chub on yourself. Then you just got to go to the gym, hit the Stairmaster, lift some weights too. Like, just do something. You know what I mean? If you want to be more fit, then go for it. But you got to want it. This next question is from Bo. It's just his Instagram name. That's a dope Instagram name. He goes, "What's up, bro? What's the best way to lose the weight the fastest?" Again, I'm not a nutritionist, so I really don't want to give anyone weight loss advice, and I also don't want to give it because I did it the worst possible way ever. I don't think that it is healthy to try to figure out a way to lose it the fastest, because I think a steady weight loss is much better than a serious, insanely fast weight loss. Because you could lose weight insanely fast, but it's not healthy. Like, if you cut your calories down to 1,200 calories a day, it's like what I did at one point. Being a 6'4" male at 1,200 calories a day, you will lose weight incredibly fast. But I promise you, you will lose a lot more than weight. You will lose everything that makes you feel good will just. So I don't know. I can't give advice on that question. I really don't want to answer that question. But from personal experience, I would say just cut the calories a little bit, work out, be in a caloric deficit, not an insane caloric deficit, but in a caloric deficit. All right, this is a question that I really wanted to get to that I have never personally talked about in my entire life, and I've wanted to talk about it because I feel like it could help some people, but I've always been super nervous to talk about this, and it's been something that's been going on in my life for the past 3 years now, I'd say, and it's a little bit weird, but this question's from Sector 7G. Can you speak on your Hashimoto's disease, please? ? So people know that I got Hashimoto's, very few, obviously, but we make jokes every once in a while, call Hashimomo's in the videos, because when I first found out about it, everyone, friends were like, what the hell, what is that? You know what I mean? It's hard to explain. Hashimoto's is basically an autoimmune disease, and I was diagnosed with it probably about, I'd say, between 6 months and a year ago. I don't know the exact time period, but basically 3 years ago, one day I just woke up, and it's gonna be pretty crazy, but my manlyhood was not there. I was like that, and I was like, that's weird. That's super weird. Probably 19, 20 at the time. That doesn't make any sense. 20, 21. That doesn't make any sense. Why is this happening? So I went and got a male health test, I ordered on Quest, a male health blood test to make sure my vitamin levels were all good. Mind you, I felt super tired all the time. We would go to film videos with Scotty and them, and I would just I would go film and I'd act like everything was fine, but I'd be super tired, super drained, my body would ache, everything hurt, felt like I had the flu, but I didn't feel sick. It was really weird, and I had the ED issues, and I was like, something's up. So I went there and I got a test. Turns out my testosterone was 18 nanograms per deciliter of my blood, and the normal range is between 500 to 900 for a male of my age. 900 being high, 500 being probably closer to the average, I'd assume. And that being said, I immediately knew. I was like, this ain't right. Something's up. So I went and got an appointment at a doctor's, and then they sent me to a specialist, an endocrinologist. I got bounced around. I was in Florida at the time. They started putting me on these pills that were weird, almost birth control pills or something like that, and they were supposed to help increase my testosterone by letting my brain communicate with my nuts, and that didn't work. And that was basically to see if I was totally shut down or not. And turns out my pituitary gland is 100% completely shut down. So for this entire time, they were giving me thyroid medication, hormone replacements. I forget the name of what was almost kind of a birth. I don't remember what it was. I'm not on that one anymore because it didn't work at all. But my testosterone, even after all that, was still incredibly low. So they had to put me on hormone replacement therapy and a bunch of thyroid medication, but they couldn't figure out what it was, and my levels were all over the place. And then finally I went through 3 different doctors, and I finally got a doctor, and the one doctor was like, hey, you have Hashimoto's disease. They did an antibody test. Think about this, this crazy time of 2 year span that I was trying to figure out what the hell. I was on several different medications, and it's I don't know if any of you guys, I don't know if you guys watched the videos back then, but I tried everything in my power, not even to let my own friends know that anything was going on. I tried so hard to feel good every single day, but I felt every day for like 2 years straight like a weak bag of like just shit. Like I just felt terrible, man. Like I was like going to lift my bike in the back of the truck, and at the beginning of the day, and I feel like, oh, and I would go take it out at the end of the day, and be like, oh, and like everything was just, it felt like I had the flu for like 2 years, and they could not figure out what's going on. There's several different medications, and finally now I went to this doctor. They did a simple antibody test, and they figured out I have Hashimoto's. Okay, and now the protocol for Hashimoto's is like you got to like cut out certain things in your diet so you don't have flare-ups, like autoimmune flare-ups and stuff like that. You got to take certain supplements. You got to do hormone replacement. You got to do thyroid replacement, like a bunch of different things. And I got it down to a pretty good science right now. These last couple of weeks were kind of rough because I had some issues with, I don't know if it was a medication that got mixed or something like that. I don't know what happened, but my liver enzymes were through the roof, which is another thing. I can't drink anymore. I can't do any of that stuff anymore. I used to partake, obviously, in drinking. And I loved Tito's more than anybody in this entire world, I think. But, I mean, it's probably for the best that I can't drink anymore. I had nothing against anyone who does drink, but I can't do any of it anymore because my liver enzymes are already, something's up with that. So I got some issues with that right now. We're getting some ultrasounds done, making sure nothing's crazy. There's nothing on the liver or anything like that. Could have just been like a weird test, so we're doing another test in a couple days, trying to figure all that out. But it's been a long, long journey that I've never talked about with anybody. And the only people I really know are like Trey, honestly, like my girlfriend, my mom, Trey's family. Scotty and them like kind of know about it obviously, but I never really got too much into detail. I was kind of still at the point where I was like kind of not really wanting to talk too much about it and didn't really like explain to everybody what it was. And I actually found out that I had the Hashimoto's when I got back to Florida, and I went and took some time for myself because I was on such like a filming schedule that I was just like film. I just didn't want to take the time to go do it. One, because I didn't want to take the time to do it, and two, I think I was just scared to know if there was something really wrong. And it turns out it wasn't anything that crazy. To be honest, I know you're saying Hashimoto's is probably pretty crazy, but it's really not that bad. It's like it's not curable, but it's manageable. How about that? So it's something that I can figure out how to work with, but just trying to not take as many medications as I can and try to do it the more natural way by like doing some diet and some supplement stuff. But unfortunately, for the rest of my life, I got to do some hormone replacement stuff and the thyroid medication pill every single day, and it fluctuates. I got to get blood tests every 2 months, sometimes every month. Right now, every couple weeks until I get some stuff figured out. So it does suck, but I mean, I don't know. I guess what are you gonna do? I'm stoked that everything's going fine, so that's good. I'm just learning what to do with it, I guess. But yeah, thank you for asking that question because I've always wanted to talk about it, but I never really knew how to talk about it. But yeah, all right, that's gonna be it for this one. I've been wanting to do this for a while, and I just want to say thank you to all the people that follow me and watch the weight loss journey, and I'm stoked that maybe this could inspire some people to do it too. I don't know if I'm going to keep posting on this channel. If I get some good feedback on this, maybe I'll do some stuff. If you guys have some stuff that you want to see me film, comment it down below. Just let me know. I'm very curious to see what you guys think of this kind of stuff because I would not mind putting effort into this like second channel of like the gym stuff and the physical routine stuff. If there was like a need or a want for it and people were stoked on it and I was inspiring people, I would have more motivation to do that. So just let me know in the comments. Give me some ideas of stuff that you might want to see because I'm not really too like into that the gym stuff. I don't really like I go to the gym every day, but I don't know like what it's like people want to see when it comes to that kind of stuff. So just let me know, and yeah, so I'm out.